Another fantastic gift-giving idea is cinnamon rolls. And you know, there's nothing that makes you feel more loved than having a cup of tea and a little candle glowing. It's all about creating ambiance and really enjoying not only mindfully baking, but mindfully partaking of the gifts that you receive and the gifts you give. So I wanted to let you know that I do make my cinnamon rolls in this, and you can see the big white Dutch oven over there. That's where I scald the milk and add 2 cubes of butter for every 2 dozen cinnamon rolls. So there's 1 cube of butter in every 12 cinnamon rolls in every dozen. And then I mix it up with this, knead it in there, and then I split that dough today for ease sake. And this has been raising, and it's just perfect. And if you could just feel through the camera this dough, because what makes a great dough is soft and a little sticky. So this is perfect right now. Today, I'm going to be making 2 pans of cinnamon rolls to show you, and they're both 9 by 13s, but one will have 6 jumbos that will grow, and the other one will have minis. And so when you order these, you can order minis or you can order jumbos, and they come with this lid. So there's a lid on top, so they're really easy to carry. And sometimes I ask people, do you want me to frost them for you? Because I really like to frost my own cinnamon roll. I know how much frosting I want. So a cute story about Dad's Lick-Daub, D-A-U-B, was when I was a little girl, my dad told me that his mother used to put a bowl of frosting in the center of the table, and then everybody would just put a spoon and put how much frosting they wanted onto their plate, and then they would pull their cinnamon roll apart and dab it into the frosting. So now I have this along with Mom's shepherd's bread. I have Dad's Lick-Daub, and this is a German word for daubing and putting the amount that you want on. So that's what comes unless you say, no, just frost them for me. We're gonna now show you the process of rolling out the cinnamon roll. Some people like pecans, some people like walnuts, some people like raisins. And I always do, after I put this mixture on, I always do sprinkle. So if there was any places that didn't get any of the filling, that we make sure that there's enough. So this is the filling. This is made from 2 sticks of butter and 1.5 cups of brown sugar this time, and about 1/8 cup of cinnamon, okay? And so we'll be putting that on to the cinnamon roll dough. And first I'm going to lightly flour my counter. The more flour you use, the drier your cinnamon rolls will be. So I don't want to put too much, I don't want to add too much flour, because I like the consistency of that dough as it is. But I also don't want it to stick to my countertop. So I'm only going to put a handful of that. Probably half of what I had in this container. This is what happens if you do not grease your hands or add flour to your hands before you start. It sticks to you. And so just, my hands are clean. I wash my hands so often during this process. And now I'm really even converting to using gloves when I make these cinnamon rolls. Okay, so here we go. We also need to lightly flour the rolling pin. This is a really soft dough. And the softer it is, the softer the cinnamon rolls will stay soft. My favorite time to eat a cinnamon roll is right out of the oven. And, but these will last. And you can always refrigerate or freeze them. I have one wonderful customer who gets a pan and then he freezes them in individual Ziploc bags and pulls one out of the freezer and heats it up every time he wants one. You want to get it all the way to the edges because there's nothing worse than a part of a swirl that has nothing yummy inside. So you try to get it all the way to the edges. Today I got a text message from a woman who bought a pan of these and she said, well, thanks. Now you've ruined every other cinnamon roll for me. She goes, I can't eat any other cinnamon roll now that I've had these. You can order these with monk fruit if you'd like, because monk fruit and cinnamon add no extra calories. This one is regular cinnamon, and I'm just lightly coating this for those cinnamon lovers out there. Oh, and these are so good with hot chocolate. Now today I can decide if I want to add pecans or if I want to add raisins. Some people will say, I just want mine with pecans, or it's amazing how many people just love them plain, and then raisins as an addition. But I think that today I'm just gonna put a few pecans on this one because it's fun to get a little crunch. I try to be very generous in my gift giving because people will not come back for more if it says you skimped on me. So we don't want to skimp on anybody. We want everybody to think these are better. So now we're going to, you can use a thread to do this, but for time's sake, I am just going to go ahead and use this knife. Now, these are minis. You'll be surprised at how unmini they are. They are really quite large once they're done, and this will make a pan full. I like to squeeze 15 into this, and then there's 6 jumbos in the 6 jumbo pan. So there we have 6. So a dozen minis versus, and then we'll see how they rise. Really yummy pecan. What I love about the paste, creating the paste, is that as it melts, it caramelizes. And as it sinks to the bottom, when you turn over your cinnamon roll, it's all caramelized. Okay, now we're gonna do some jumbos. We're only gonna do 6. And I'm gonna use the rest of this dough. It's beautiful, soft. It's so fun. It feels like a baby's tummy. It's such a fun dough to work with. To get them jumbo, I want a shorter piece of dough, not as long, and I want it wider. And you guys, I do not measure. I do it until it looks like it is full and complete. I think that when you are generous and you give more, it just makes people feel loved. Now, if you were to order these and you think that I put too much of this filling, just say, I just want light filling. But so far I haven't had anybody complain about how much there is. So when you order at shepherdsbread.com, that is actually my Bakesy account, and you can actually specify in your order if you want light cinnamon roll filling, or if you want it nice and thick like this, and if you want pecans, or if you want walnuts, or if you want raisins. Now I'm gonna kind of bunch this up because I want these to be chubbier. My goal is chubby. And we're gonna do these. These center ones might be a bit bigger. But believe me, these are gonna spread out. And I've already greased my pan. Now I'm gonna put 2. And you'll be amazed. I'm gonna choose the biggest to go in there. There we go. And we're gonna let those raise. We're putting in the jumbos. And I'm putting them in a little sooner than I ordinarily would. These are for my friend. Okay, now we're gonna make our frosting for our cinnamon rolls. And I would suggest with this, I've already added the powdered sugar, so not to take up your time while I do that. And that is 4 cups of powdered sugar. I like buttercream frosting, so I've got 2 sticks of butter, and it's melted, but not melted, just softened in the microwave. And then in here I have pure vanilla and I have pure almond extract. So I've put a teaspoon of each of those, and I'm adding that. And then we're gonna put our little cover on so it doesn't flip powdered sugar all over me in the kitchen. And just add the milk as you go. Just drizzle milk in, because otherwise you're gonna end up with too runny. And the other day I had to go to the store right in the middle of the project. So I want a certain consistency. I like it thick, but if you frost them quickly when they come out of the oven, it's gonna turn into a glaze. Butter is super expensive right now. That's why these cinnamon rolls are not super inexpensive. Now, the thing that makes this so amazing, I think, is the almond. And so one of the things that I didn't do that I want to do is I want to add a pinch of sugar, because a pinch of salt. A pinch of salt will help you to not be so sweet. So we're just gonna add a pinch of salt. Don't you love it when people say a pinch and you're going, how much was that? And get that butter off the sides of the bowl, but it's looking like the consistency I want. Again, you can order online on shepherdsbread.com. You can order your frosting separate in a little plastic container, or you can have me go ahead and frost them. And I like it like this. It could be thicker, but it's okay to just have it a little drizzly because it's easier to spread. This consistency is perfect for drizzling on your cinnamon rolls. When they come out of the oven or letting them cool, either way, you like it, or you can have it in the little container and have your Lick-Daub. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is such fun. It's so loving. It's sending flowers to the people you love.